Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Pushing for justice in the Oxford High School shootings. Grief and anger directed at the teenager responsible.
His blatant lack of human decency and disturbing thoughts on life in general do not in any way warrant a second chance. My son doesn't get a second chance, and neither should he.
The sobs came from a deep part in me. Tears soaked the cold floor I laid on.
Students who survived the violence of November 30th, 2021, reliving moments that leave painful scars.
I was laying on my side like this, and I realized what had just happened. I was just shot, and I thought I was gonna die.
And those words, so tough to hear. Good afternoon, I'm Kimberly Gill, reporting for Karen Drew today. Before the sentencing, you just saw survivors, family members, and friends come up one by one to share their stories. In all, about 29 people we heard from today give their victim impact statements. Let's get out to Rod Maloney. He was listening into those statements today. He's been following the story from the very beginning. He joins us live. What a tough day for so many, Rod.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to explain the sadness, the anger, the rage, the frustration with this whole situation. And of course, perhaps the biggest surprise of all was the shooter actually apologizing to the families as a result of this. And in fact, when they had the opportunity to have their impact statements allowed in court today, many lined up and vented their frustration directly at the shooter.
The shooter sat emotionless at the defense table in his orange jail uniform, flanked by heavy security. He rarely even looked up, but the long line of victims took their opportunity to vent at him. First in line, Nicole Beausoleil, Madison Baldwin's mother.
In hopes that this would destroy me or suffering would be unbearable. You failed. I'm so much stronger than you, and your weakness consumes you.
Raina St. Juliana is Hannah St. Juliana's sister, who said that her life is forever altered and changed for the worse.
A creature who left Hannah lying in her own pool of blood, crying in pain, who went to go shoot her again, does not deserve to take another breath. His parents would never see the light of day. Oxford District employees would be fully held accountable.
Shooting survivor Aiden Watson says he's still looking over his shoulder every day, whether at school or in public, concerned that he will get shot again.
I do not believe that he is crazy. I believe it's a scheme. I believe he's trying to lie to us to try to get out of prison early. If it were up to me, it would never happen. He would never be able to touch grass outside of prison.
And finally, Oxford student Avery Bluenstein asked the shooter to look at her. He didn't, but she lashed out nonetheless.
You're not special. You don't have a divine right. You're just an insecure, weak, fragile, insecure boy who could not deal with his own problems. Your name will never be said. Now, the rest of us are left with the pieces.
So you're looking right now at the courtrooms that have emptied after this sentencing. Dozens of parents and school students from Oxford High School here listening to all of the testimony today. We just watched them walk out, some of them in tears. For many, this is exactly the outcome that they were hoping for. It's been a long couple of years, and certainly we're going to be talking to them and hearing from them at Local 4 News at 5 and 6. Reporting live in Pontiac, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
And as Rod mentioned, and I think most people would agree, maybe the most shocking thing that came out of today's sentencing was that we heard from the confessed shooter himself. Still a teenager, he apologized for the shootings, and he had this to say to the judge.
I am a really bad person. I have done terrible things that no one should ever do. I have lied, been not trustworthy. I've hurt many people, and that's what I've done, and I'm not denying it, but that's not who I plan on to be. Whatever sentence it is, I do plan to be better than I am. I don't know if you believe that, but records of 15, 20, 25 years can show that I will change.
Again, the first time we've heard him speak. We still have 2 crews at the courthouse waiting to see who might talk about the decision in this coming hour. We'll bring you live updates as needed and continue our coverage when you join us for Local 4 News at 5 o'clock. We want to move on to other news today. Michigan State University is turning the page once again with new leadership. The Board of Trustees just appointed a new president during a virtual meeting today. The vote was unanimous to hire Kevin Guskowitz. He's coming to MSU from a job as the chancellor at the University of North Carolina. He replaces interim president Teresa Woodruff, who gave him her support during today's meeting. Guskowitz is the 6th president or interim president at Michigan State since 2018. He says he'll focus on cutting-edge research, diversity, and he knows there is healing to be done.
I am aware that Michigan State University has faced more than its share of challenges in recent years. Yet I see a strong university with an inspiring historical foundation that can reach new levels of excellence through its powerful commitment to student success, knowledge discovery, and land-grant service.
The new president will take over on March 4th of next year. The UAW could be making progress in its efforts to organize non-union workers at other plants. It says more than 1,000 employees at Volkswagen in Chattanooga, Tennessee, have signed cards authorizing a vote. That number is getting close to the 30% required by the National Labor Relations Board to trigger a vote. The UAW says workers have complained about mandatory overtime on Saturdays and want higher pay. VW gave workers an 11% raise following the strikes at Ford, GM, and Stellantis. And that same plant has rejected union representation in the past, but this could become a new test case. All right, in today's first forecast, when it's 50 degrees in December, you really can't complain too much. Let's take a live look outside at Ann Arbor as we head into the weekend, Kim.
Well, it almost looks like it's about to rain at any moment, but as we look at Exact Track 4D radar, there's just nothing going on until overnight tonight and into tomorrow. And it is warm out there. 52 out at Metro Airport, low 50s at City Airport, upper 40s in Pontiac and Mount Clemens, and 53, one of the warmest spots, down in Monroe. Now, tomorrow we'll get lots of rain in the morning hours and then becoming more cloudy in the afternoon, and then another chance for some rain overnight Saturday night and into Sunday. But the big story will be the temperature drop between Saturday and Sunday, as Sunday's highs barely make it out of the 30s and into the low 40s. We'll talk more about the rain for tomorrow and the rest of the weekend in a few minutes.
Okay, Kim, thank you. All right, well, on this rather somber day, Help Me Hank is pitching in to help families in need during the holidays. He's leading a toy drive, and you may have caught Hank bright and early this morning on our morning show starting at 6 a.m. He's been filling up another truck for kids who might otherwise not have presents under the tree. So let's join Hank live. He's in Southgate. Hank, tell us exactly where you are, because people still have a lot of time to come out there and donate toys.
They certainly do, Kimberly, and take a look. I got the VIP man right here, Santa Claus himself. We are here at the Kroger store right on 4th Street in Southgate, and I mean, the turnout today has been unbelievable. I was a little worried this morning when we got here at 6 a.m. because we're filling a semi-truck, but I am telling you, no problems at all. That truck is going to be filled. Now, as you mentioned, we're going to be out here until 6 o'clock tonight. So if you have a new unwrapped toy, stop on by here, the Kroger. The good news here, they also have a big toy department inside the store. So if you live nearby, just drive up here to the Kroger, buy a new unwrapped toy, bring it out. We're going to make sure every toy, hi, how are you? That every single toy collected stays right here in Metro Detroit. The need here, especially downriver, much greater than anybody could have anticipated. And the turnout here today, Kimberly, has been fantastic. We are so grateful to all of you for coming out, and I hope many of you will still stop on by this evening. That's the latest here from Southgate. We'll send it back to you.
That's right, and still got a little more time. As you said, Hank, we appreciate it, and we will check back in with you a little bit later. All right, before we go on, we want to also say congratulations and thank you after many of you went for it yesterday. We told you about Mitch Albom's Say Detroit Radiothon during our 4 o'clock newscast, and we're told the big event raised more than $2 million. That's a new record for the telethon, which started broadcasting back in 2012. If you were able to donate, we thank you so much. It's another go for it moment with Metro Detroiters helping each other.